Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Dev, and today we're going to talk about Season of Conquest, and specifically in this video we're going to talk about Heroic Anthem. And I know some of this stuff will apply to Strength of 8, and very few things applying to March of Ages. Not a lot, but very few things. Either way, in this video we're going to cover a little bit about the things you're going to expect in Season of Conquest, and we're going to start off talking about tech. Then we're talking about packs, the things you can purchase in the store, bastions, Kahar, honor, the modified timers, coalitions, and performance. All of this stuff is going to be in the description below, so if you want to go ahead and hop to those different topics, you will see them in that order below. Hope you guys stick around and enjoy the video. So sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, let's begin talking about the two things that we have to build in our city when we first enter Season of Conquest. One is the Crystal Mine, and the second one is your Crystal Research Center. So pop out those building speed ups and finally put them to good use. Yes, you can use the building buff to get them discounted so that you can reduce time. It's not really that worth it. It is. Like, look, just do it, okay? If no, whatever. I like never did. Anyways, so as we talk about the mine, okay, the mine is important because you need crystal in order to upgrade your technology. So all of this plays a big important role. As you can see here, it says season supply at 50%. We'll go over that when we cover the bundles, and take note that if you do not buy the bundle, you will not get the 50% supply. Now, the bastion boost, of course, is going to increase the more bastions you complete. And the way we'll talk a little bit more about bastions later on in this video, but you need to complete bastions to increase the percentage, and the season supply is also going to be covered in the bundles. To donate, you just slide the bar over and it donates the resources for you, as you see here, and you just work more. You'll see the timer here and then the resources donated. I don't know why it just closed for me, but it did anyways. Now, you will need to upgrade this. You can click the information tab here, and it tells you how much of the workload you can do at a time, hourly, and the max crystal obviously right here is 400,000, which is I think like 17 hours ish with the 50% boost, which is good. And again, you're not going to be that far along early game, but just know that you will get there eventually, if not way past it. I didn't spend a lot, so that's why. Now we'll move on to the Crystal Research Center, where you spend your crystal. And here you're going to see where the crystal research cost reduction, which is important to leveling up. So that's why a lot of people just like smash through it and like level it up all the way. When it comes to technology, there's a lot of different avenues to go. And it's pretty much, we're going to start with the low spender where I'm at. And then the heavy spenders are just going to push along and progress further than all of us will. Within the first couple of days, you need to get cultural exchange max to 5. Okay, so like your goal is culture exchange to 5 here, and trying to get culture exchange here to 2. Yes, once you unlock one level, it should unlock the next subsequent tiers as you go from one side to the other. So as you're going through these quest lines and stuff and unlocking the different levels, you only need to do it to like the 1 or 2, but sometimes it makes you go back and repeat it. So keep that in mind as you're going through this. Like, you don't want to start like at the low end and then you have to work your way to the high end and vice versa. So kind of go through this with a little bit at a time. The heavy spenders and those that are just dropping all the crystal early before the pass opens get Quench Blades 3 maxed. That'll help you significantly, or at least as close as possible. The special medicine is very important when it comes to healing your T5 troops. And then marching orders, of course, here, which is increasing the troop capacity for alliance rallies. That'll help you increase your rallies on flags and structures, which all flags are 2 million troops and all forts are 3 million. And you can match that with the 3 million troop count. So it's pretty dope if you can do that because it's like evenly matched. That's why a lot of people try to tell you to push marching orders early so you can get that capacity increased for your rallies. And of course, there's like other ones, but you can get the extra troop march, your call to arms, which is your troop capacity for your commanders. That's just your individual commander itself or whatever your primary you're running. Improved morale, which is increased more damage. Again, you're probably not going to unlock this one until close to level 6 pass for those heavier spenders, but it's still really great to do if you can get past all of that stuff. And of course, the 7th March, which I'll probably never see in this day and age. And then you've got the T5 healing. As we go all the way back and swipe down and go all the way back to the beginning, everyone's going to have different levels, okay? Everyone's going to progress at different times because they have different spending levels and their activity varies. But if you're in my situation where I don't spend a lot, what you need to do is focus on the technology that's going to give you more coins for crystal. That way, whenever you're pushing through the technology, you are feeling like you're getting more bang for your buck, and that you're gonna see how that progresses. But we're gonna move on from this. I could talk forever about technology and the different ways you could go. I would recommend to focus on the troop type that you use the most first and max those out to 10 or as far as possible, and as well as getting, again, I'm going to cultural exchange and plunder's good and skillful operation. Get those up as quickly as possible. Now we're going to move on and talk about packs when it comes to spending. There are tons of different levels of spenders and opportunities to buy bundles. Whenever you join a coalition, you don't share your bundles that are purchased, which would be really dope if they did. You don't. You only share the completions of forts and stuff. So it'd be really cool if they could, but they're not going to give us that much leeway. Now, there's a couple of different bundles you're going to see here. Conqueror's Will does refresh every day, so you will get a chance to unlock that one. It's really good bundle to buy if you're just trying to get a whole bunch of crystal, and it has some speed ups and resources in there, and of course the gems. But I want to talk more about the crystal tech that you get here. The very first bundle that you should buy in this game, if you can obviously purchase funds, is to get the premium season crystal supply. This will give you the 50% boost when it comes to your crystal mine. So go ahead and get that bundle if you do want to purchase it. It was worth it because I get crystal every day and I don't have to worry about that. And I get the 50% increased mining speed, which is really great whenever you're just trying to mine a bunch of crystal. Then, of course, you got the Mighty Conqueror. Around the pass time, you'll see ones for the passes and stuff, which will pop up as well. The bundles that you really will see the most of is whenever you're upgrading your crystal resource centers and your technology. So whenever you're upgrading that, you're going to see the bundles pop as well. You have I think an hour for most of them, and more of the heavier spending ones, they're going to give you a couple of hours. I think 8 or 9 hours was the max one that I saw. But remember, do not purchase anything unless it's within your means and you're able to. I don't spend that much, and I think I came off pretty well when it came to the packs and the amount of coins I got in return. And yes, for your information, coins do recycle to other KVKs, so you don't have to spend them. This one, you can save them for future Season of Conquests, but your crystal does disappear at the end of KVK, so keep that in mind. They do get returned for you in a gold count, unless you have the bundle that's right here. If you have one of these crystal chests here, you will be able to open those. I think they auto open actually whenever you play Season of Conquest again. So if you have any crystal left over, it does transfer into gold. So if you leave any, then you're losing out. So just keep that in mind. Now, moving on, let's talk about Bastion Quests. Now, everybody's KVK is going to have different Bastions. Some are going to be better than others. You've got Epics and you've got Legendaries. Some key things you need to know about Bastions. First of all, if you don't have the Commander unlocked at that skill level that it offers, you're not going to get it. So if your Joan of Arc isn't fully maxed out, then you're not going to get that skill. Whatever skill that you have it at will be the one that you do get. So if I look at support skills, as you can see, I have a YSG, but he's not expertised in his skill here for Art of Archery is only level 4, which means I'm not going to get the best benefit from that skill because it has to be whatever your commander that you have in your pool of commanders have available. But you can still complete the Bastion quests for those commanders. It's not going to really help you if you don't have access to it, but it is very useful. If you want to look here at the Bastions, there's different levels. As you're leveling up the Bastion, you do get more crystal speed. Okay, so the more that you level them up, it will also increase your crystal tech speed. Let's go ahead and talk about YSG's, just use him as an example. And I'm going to click on the information tab here and scroll down to the bottom. And as you can see, as you increase the favor, which is listed here, you will increase your crystal work speed. Okay, that's your crystal mine. So the more you level these up, the more speed that you get for your crystal, which means you're getting more crystal more frequently, and you'll be able to up your support skills and get more crystal, which means you'll help your technology and get more coins and all this stuff. I probably should have spent a lot more time focusing on Bastions. I did not, which is shame on me, and that's just the way it is. But there's so many different varieties of these. It's pretty crazy. Now it says, earn 90 points by destroying barbed forts. Now it's going to tell you, if you hit the little information tab, how much each fort is worth, so you know which forts you should be focusing on to get the most benefit. Now remember, forts and all barbs in this KVK are more expensive. They do drop better resources and speed ups and materials, as well as crystal. So all that stuff is included now, so that does make it a little bit more beneficial to use your AP for. And of course the honor is a little bit better as well. Now, this one also comes with a Kahar. So if I were able to complete this quest, I get a free Kahar. And remember, the Kahar, they do disappear at the end. We're going to talk about Kahar in a few moments. Let's take a look at the other Bastion quests that I have available. I keep clicking on the wrong button. There we go. Okay, Bastions. So you can, as long as your alliance touches the territory close to that Bastion for your coalition, then you'll have access to that Bastion. It looks like I have 13 of 15 right here at the top of how many quests I have completed today that I need to complete. And you can reset these bastions by going to view them and resetting them. So that will give you the ability to reset the bastion to something a little bit more easier. Like this is donate gold. I mean, it's 500,000 gold, and I'm okay with donating that. A lot of people would say, don't donate gold. And I'm also going to donate animal bone, because I don't ever use animal bone. Alright, so then it says defeating barbs. So I don't want to go defeat barbs right now, but I could accept that quest. If you accept the quest on accident, you can reset it to release the quest. There's no other way to release the quest after you accept it unless you complete it. So if you want to reset it, just hit the reset button, and it does have a 10-minute cooldown. So if you just reset one, you accidentally accepted it, wait 10 minutes, reset it again, and now you'll have a chance to do another bastion. Quick information about the bastions. There's different tier levels of bastion quests. As we look here at the bastions, for the ones for anything for increasing power or troop counts, those are going to give you like the most amount. Let me find it real quick. Okay, so increasing your power on the Theo right here. Okay, it gives 43,000, and there's your favorite with the heart. I can't see my hand. There's your favor with the heart. Okay, so if you increase your technology, then you're going to get more favor, which means it's going to be more beneficial for you to unlock. And you need different amounts per level, and it does increase. So you can get through in one day at a level, I think it's like 5 and 5, or 5 and 7 for the favor upgrades, cultural exchange. You should be able to max a support skill in one day with 15. Keep that in mind, because whenever you open for the level 4 pass, you may have a chance to unlock whatever support commander is in that zone. And if it's a fighting zone, you may have a very limited time to unlock their skills. So keep that in mind if you're right before pass opening and you want those skills unlocked faster. That's one way to do it. I think that pretty much encompasses talking about Bastion quests. They're very useful, and try to do all 15. There is 2 achievements or maybe 3 actually, that are available to you in Season of Conquest, I unfortunately was super lazy, like I said a few minutes ago, and I was unable to complete all the bastions. 650 Bastion Quests will give you 3 legendary sculptures, but you have to have the 10 million kills. This one's just honor, but it's still 2 sculptors that I missed out on because I was lazy this KVK towards the end, which I should have done, but I didn't pay attention to that. Keep that in mind because it's really important to upgrading your troops and stuff with missing out on some free stuff. We're going to very briefly talk about Kahar. Now, Kahar is available here after you're completing your Bastion quests and stuff. Sometimes you get free ones. There are Kahar available through the Bastion quests. I would recommend to save most of your Kahar until you can upgrade your crystal tech a little bit, because if you're upgrading your crystal tech, then you are going to get more crystal from when you destroy them. So we're going to use it, and we're going to quick example. I've never gotten a legendary sculpture yet, okay, but only you can attack them. You can place multiple at a time and use like a Richard YSG. I've tried Richard and Ethelfled before, or I just use Ethelfled Richard. Anyways, you take them down, it spawns a chest. You have 10 minutes to open that chest. And remember, only you can open that chest. And that way that no one else can steal it, you open it up and you get rewards automatically to your inventory. If you spawn a bunch of them and you forget, or your phone dies or something like that, they all just disappear in 30 minutes. So then you're screwed because nobody else can use them, and you just wasted Kahar for a bunch of free crystal speed ups and potentially lost your chance at a legendary sculpture. So Kahar is a very great thing to use. They are really expensive when it comes to using your AP, so it's like, it's not great. But as you can see here, it costs 190. Now, I do have really low troop count, so please ignore the siege. I just throw random stuff at this point until I can get my troops back. Now, that's pretty much going to cover it for Kahar. It's, like I said, it's really good and worth it if you wait a little bit longer so you can max the technology a little bit further, so it's a little bit more worth it. The next piece that we're going to talk about is honor. Okay, so honor is a very important part to how you're going to get a lot of in-game rewards for free for just playing and using your overall AP usage, or standing at ancient ruin sites or dark altars. As you can see here, it's pretty descriptive of the different honors for the different levels. So keep that in mind. They spawn the beginning one at the top as we work our way down. The beginning one's in like the first zone. Then the second zone has a little bit of in the middle for the 46 to 50. Then, of course, zone 6 has a lot more, 51 to 55. Now, you're going to see more higher level barbarians spawn around your holy sites, your camps, your circles. Then the sanctuary has some as well, and the bastions actually have the higher level barbarians. Just a couple, and I think they spawn normally every 10 to 15 minutes. So just try to get like in a good routine to kill them and use your AP. Now, AP usage for these barbs in KVK Season of Conquest are more expensive than the ones in Light and Darkness in the previous seasons 2 and 1. Barb forts are a great way to use your AP, but they're really expensive, so I don't really know if it's worth it in the long run. I just did barbarians and went to ancient ruin sites, and I went to dark altars. If you have a chance to participate in a dark altar, make sure you're setting timers for when they go off, so you can just send a march there and let it sit. The ancient ruin sites do open in the first starting zone for heroic anthem, so it's good to know that it's in there already, so you don't have to really compete over it. So it's like free honor. Now you got coalition and camp honor. So coalition honor is very useful, and if you disband a coalition, then you lose that honor. I'm waiting for Lilith to confirm with me if it also affects your camp honor, but it's more than likely if you farm barbarians in the first zone and you're not in a coalition, you're still getting honor for the camp, just not for the coalition. And that way it's kind of good to know that information, because you can have a coalition and create one, and if you disband it, you don't lose that honor. The honor's still part of the camp as a whole number. You just lose that coalition's honor. And we're going to talk about coalitions in a few moments, so you can skip to that if you want to just go over the modified timers. But the rewards are pretty okay. They're not like super great. I mean, you do get some gold, legendary sculptures, and of course the camp rewards here. Lilith is patching this where you have to be City Hall 16 in order to get the camp rewards, so keep that in mind if you're doing jumper accounts and stuff, that you don't get these for free. You have to be City Hall 16. Pretty sure that update patch should be out very shortly at the end of August, mid to end of August. That's really going to cover it for Honor. I feel like a lot of people went like super ham on Honor. I'm not one to do a lot of grinding for barbarians. I did a lot earlier, but it's definitely a great way for the amount of speed ups that you're getting from these barbs, and the crystal tech is really great too. The next part is talking about modified timers. Oh, I got my car piece in. We're going to talk about modified timers. And now modified timers is the ones that you can change as you're going through Season of Conquest. I picked this one out because it can drastically change depending on how your kingdom and your camp proceeds. Now, there are 2 timers that will be able to be adjusted in Lost Kingdom. And for Heroic Anthem, there are 2 specific ones, and most of them have the same for across the board in all Season of Conquest, and that's the first steps. That's building 30 Alliance fortresses, which, as you can see here, depending on what time that this one ends will depend on all of the other timers that you have for Season of Conquest for pretty much until all the way to the Zone 6 pass. It's really important if you're trying to control the time to favor your kingdom, your camp, your allies, this time frame, then it's really important that you get that timer down, because you can't modify it until after the building flags, which is right here. Siege of the Land, building 200 Crusader flags. Now that's across the entire Lost Kingdom map. If you're trying to control the time, you need to really be careful about how many flags you're placing during this time to make sure that it matches to a time that benefits your camp and or your allies' camp as well. If you just maximize on it and you just want to go with the flow that is, you can, but it's one of those things that you can kind of control. And yes, it means that flags have to be completed. So if you have a bunch of flags with like 1 troop or 2 troops, and then you've just popped Skillful Craftsman to complete them right away, then fill them all with troops, then yes, that timer does go down. And that'll give you the ability to control the time a little bit easier. At this point in time, I believe that you're right before the level 6 pass opens, which is the opening for the Dark Altar. So if you can complete this, it'll depend for the Dark Altar timing. And I know that's a lot of information to throw at you, but the next pass is the level 7 after 6, and that's where like most of the fighting happens for Heroic Anthem. And for like in my situation in this KVK, quick little blurb in there, is it opened at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for me, and that was super brutal. But like I said, if you don't control the times right, and we didn't do that very well, then we kind of got screwed when it came to time to fight. Alright, so now let's begin talking about coalitions, which is a very important piece for Season of Conquest. Here we have coalitions, right? The coalition leader is just an R5 of an alliance, and they are not part of the coalition, and they get an option to create or join a coalition, okay? And if you create one, you get to pick the flag color, you pick the design, and you pick the abbreviation. You could put like a little blurb in there, and as you can see, this is what they did for ours. And as you can see down here, it says main alliance. So that is the alliance that will own that coalition. Okay, so if they try to leave that coalition, they have to disband it. So it's pretty much like once you create the coalition, the only way to leave it is if you disband it. So if you're preparing for war and strategies and stuff, keep that in mind as you're building your structure with your camp ally mates, if you have any. Now, the other opportunities that you get an additional person, part of your coalition, would be the RCF. You get your first spot at the RCF. Remember, only one coalition can hold that. The second one is just after sanctuaries, and you get an additional spot, so that brings everybody up to 3. And if you obviously have the RCF, you're up to 4. And then the last time that you get one is just before the level 6 pass opens and you get your final spot. I think it's like right before the circles open, either right before or right after. But it's before the level 7 pass, which is the big fighting pass. Either way, you can add to your 5th one. Now, at the end, as you can see, I'm 5 of 4. That is because our RCF is belonging to another kingdom or another camp per se. So you actually lose that position even though we successfully took another camp's RCF, we still lose that coalition spot. So if you were to leave the coalition now, you wouldn't be able to come back in. So keep that in mind as you're talking about in-game rewards and you're giving away your RCF to another camp. It's really good information, and if you're going to split your coalitions up inside your kingdom, maybe create it with a farm alliance and then just have it join that one. Having a coalition with multiple support skill options is very important because having the ability to have multiple support skills, hopping around the different alliances, then whenever they all join together, they all have access to them and they don't have to go anywhere. Keep that in mind. If your coalition is touching a support skill, doesn't matter what alliance is touching it, the entire coalition gets the reward. So if you have a sanctuary, everybody in your coalition gets the sanctuary reward. Everybody in your coalition gets the chronicle reward. So it's kind of cool to have that ability to share the rewards a heck of a lot easier across more camps and more people. The last thing that I forgot to mention as we wrap up this video and recover everything that you just listened to throughout this video. I'm sorry, it was a lot of information, but you need to know it, right? I went into this KVK without knowing jack crap about any of this stuff. So the fact that I'm trying to throw it all at you at once, I had to put chapters in. The last piece I forgot to mention is when it talks about using support skills and presetting your support skills. If you want to do Guan Alex, for example, so here it is, Guan Alex, and you wanted to set these skills, okay? So you would look like this, okay? You would click on the plus sign, and whatever support skill you want to add that you have the ability to use, you go ahead and add it. So I want to add the Boudica one, hit confirm, and I want to add, it says Cav, it doesn't do Cav, I don't want to do that one. Here, Belisarius is one which is 25% increased damage and 50% less troops in your march, you get more damage. So I'm going to do confirm and save. Now, I have no troops in my city, but if I pull it out like this and I did the green save button, save that, confirm. Now, anytime that I were to select this troop, it saves the support skills. Very cool, very important. I had to throw that in at the end, and now I have to remove Siege from my Guan Alex. It's pretty embarrassing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed and learned so much from this video. I enjoyed it. I actually put a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of work into making sure that you guys have the correct information. It's out there for you, and you can learn a lot from them. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and that's it for me. So for now, guys, just keep it real.